agenda, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
Fairwell. Any discussion, questions on that? Not those in favor of approving the agenda, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Public comment, we have none at this time. 5.0 consent agenda. I need a motion to approve consent agenda. I'll make that motion. Second.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I'm wondering if we could just talk about policy 203.5, the agenda, where it said that we would get the agenda 3 days prior to the meeting. Sometimes that's really a tight time frame. Yeah, to make sure we do our due diligence to read through everything and whatnot, so if that's something that could be changed. Maybe it's 5 days, 4 days.
Does it say 3 days on the
It says 3
document?
days on the document.
That's the law.
But the
Oh.
policies, my understanding is that it's a template that's sent out to us. We can change it if we choose to, because we have done that before,
But we,
Did we already, like, if we're getting a Tuesday now?
but we haven't been,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but not on an ongoing basis. So I'm like, if it's in the policy, let's get it in the policy and then we follow the policy.
No, I've always thought that we had it more than 3 days before the meeting.
I think we made a change kind of to be earlier when
Yep,
we
so
started.
we
Yeah,
tried to be on Tuesday, and then some people missed, but then we addressed it. But it gets posted on Friday,
sure.
for any last minute ones, but ideally, you guys will get the majority of things unless something pops up on that Tuesday afternoon, which is what you requested. And then as people, if there's some mistakes, then I talk with them individually. So, but if you guys, whatever days you want, but ideally, we're still gonna send it out on Tuesday unless there's some changes. And like this week, there was some great conversation with Kim about the handbook, and that's why getting them on Tuesday is so nice, so we can make changes, so when we come here, it's all ready to go, but,
I just feel the policy should reflect our past practice.
we wanna, I don't mind, whatever days you guys want, is it, will that put straight on you, Kim?
Is it for when we're posting the agenda or for when the board receives the
When we
information?
have the agenda, we get read.
This says the tentative agenda and supporting documents shall be sent to the school board members 3 days prior to the scheduled school board meeting.
We can,
But if we change it, like, it's, the Tuesday, 6 days before, so
so should we just put 5, and, because it says tentative, so we're okay.
Yeah, yeah.
We can still.
Yeah.
okay, so change it to 5
Five.
days.
Yeah, okay.
important.
And I'll still try to get it out Tuesday, which would
Yeah.
be 6.
Yeah.
But it gives you wiggle room.
Need wiggle room.
And the nice part is it says tentative.
Tentative, yeah.
Okay, so we're going 5.
And I
This
think
is
not
the
only
P-
us too, but then if it does get posted, then the community does have a little hands up too.
Anything else on the consent agenda? Not those in favor of approving the consent agenda as we discussed with the change on the meeting minutes, say aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay, let's go to the pages. 6.0 is communication report, and we have Parents Club members here, so.
Boy, Todd, did you want to talk?
Todd, did you want to?
I can do a quick introduction, but yeah,
Okay,
you're right, yeah.
All
So,
right,
you know, throughout the year, you hear me talk about events that have been sponsored or promoted by Parents Club. And so I thought it would be a good idea to have them come in, just kind of share some of the things that they do, kind of some of the fundraisers, and then how they give back to our students and the programming that they sponsor. So, floor is yours.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Pam Rosenau, proud parent of McCray. I'm Steph Lolo, also a parent here, former graduate. So we are the Elementary Parents Club. McCray has had a Parents Club, I believe, since McCray started, when they consolidated into one school.
We used to have one for East and one for West, and now that we're in one building, we just have one parents club for all elementary school students. We do take pre-K as part of the elementary through 5th grade. We sponsor their field trips. We're moving towards trying to get almost to the point where we sponsor the whole field trip, and there's no out-of-pocket cost for sure teachers, but hopefully for families as well, as we know that things are getting tighter economically. We typically put on 1 to 2 lyceums a year. Last year, we had a wilderness writer from Minnesota come and speak to the children, or to the kids, and they seem to really like that. We also put on the book fair in the fall and the spring, and that's kind of our main fundraiser other than the readathon. And that's where we get all of our monies to do the different things. During Jump Rope for Heart, we do popcorn and the juice boxes.
We have the snack station.
That's right. Then we have t-shirt sales up at Omlix all year round. We also provide every new student in the elementary and all kindergartners with a new like McRae t-shirt when they first start. And then we also do the McRae Day Friday prizes, which I think right now is like a little fan beer bag that we came up with.
And on page 4 in your packet, if you guys have here, for the information that Steph just went over, it actually gives you all the information. So 110 t-shirts went to summer rec students this past summer. The Parents Club helped 372 students, 21 classes with field trip funds equaling $2,988. Again, the fall and spring book fairs helped supply teachers with 170 books. Again, that was just to the teachers. Supplied the library with 142 books, 118 of those from the book fair, and 24 of those came from the author visit. 11 staff mini grants requests. So we do have a grant program where they're able to submit in grants if they need help with whether it be supplies or what have you. And then they come to us for that. So we had 11 of those come to us this past year. And this is just for the 25-26 school year. Supplied 100 shirts for kindergartners and anybody that was new to the district in elementary.
So the grants, one of the things that we did was the gym in the elementary school wanted roller skates this year. They did their own fundraiser, whatever was left over, Parents Club came in, got the rest covered for them. And then we're also building, actually McRae Woodshop is building a storage cabinet, but we're paying for the supplies so that they get stored appropriately.
And then as you guys can also see within the packet, it kind of goes through also what Steph had spoken about who we are, kind of what we do, what we kind of stand for, fundraisers that we have planned. The other thing that we do for fundraising is we work our little tails off in those concession stands all year round. We have a great time doing it though. It is a lot of fun to see everybody during the games and everything, and we do have a lot of fun. We do also set up little pop-up tables where we do have McRae merch as well, and I know people do appreciate that as well. Our little foam fingers and bracelets and pom-poms. Sold those pom-poms like crazy, I tell you. Little fancy little hair things, so that was a lot of fun. So this kind of goes over a few more information there on the front. We do the box tops. That's something else that we can do to help the school. So that kind of goes into a little bit more detail on things as well, kind of through the packet. On the very back page, page number 5, you will see the information. This is the exact letter that was sent out to all area businesses for the readathon. Questions?
How do you guys differ? Obviously you do, but how do you differ from the 2180 Foundation?
We get asked that a lot, actually. So we focus specifically on just elementary students. So like, I can't remember, is popcorn for a basketball game? Like we supplied the stuff just for the elementary kids, and then high school was kind of left over. We also, I think 2180 does a really good job at like big projects, and we kind of focus in on individual needs. So like if a teacher needs, I don't know, trying to remember what was one of the grants we did for a teacher. Oh, she wanted prizes for like the best readers in her class or something. And so rather than her putting that out of her own pocket, we come in and we're like, yep, here you go. go, here's the small amount. We also do grants on an ongoing basis, where I believe 2180 does it like annually more so than anything. It doesn't have like the ability to do it on short notice, where if teachers need something in 3 days, we can do a quick text message or whatever and be like, yep, write them a check, we'll get it covered.
Well, thank you to the team and everybody who's been behind the scenes helping you, because you are a valuable resource, not only to our district, but to the students.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
How's fundraising been going overall?
Very well. We typically fundraise for a year in advance. So like school year 24-25, we fundraise for 25-26. So we always have like an extra year to a year and a half worth of dollars sitting in our account, because we do know that the economy changes and ebbs and flows, and that way we're always set up to do the most for our students at any point.
Great, well, thank you.
Before you guys go, I would really want to say thank you. As coming in my first year, they've been nothing but gracious, helping every little student up to our 5th graders. They partnered with 2180 to make sure that we had some waters for our staff. Very approachable, very kind. We're just truly an asset to our community, just like 2180. And not every district has such a wonderful groups willing to step in and help our students. So thank you very much.
You sponsor a lot of things.
Does anybody need any other clarification between 2180 and Parents Club?
I'm glad that you're just talking to each other, that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and that's just it. I mean, working together. Yep,
Exactly. End goal is literally, let's get the most for the kids.
Yep.
Right?
You know, just in maybe conjunction with this, I think we talked a little bit last year about was all the back to school supplies, the lists are coming out, what parents need to bring. Is there anything that the churches can get involved with in our communities? I'm thinking Kleenexes for the classrooms or some little drive like that. Is there anything we can do about that, or who would that fall under, or?
Yeah,
Like our goal is to get X amount of boxes of Kleenexes and nobody has to bring any Kleenexes in, or X amount of boxes of pencils. I know they do back to school supply drives, but if we maybe had a goal in mind about a couple things, I just think our churches are very, very giving and kind of a fun, easy thing to do. So, just a thought.
I love that idea, Deb. We're on board. How do we start it?
Do that. One thing I would say is middle school, I feel like is kind of a hole right now, because elementary has us, and that used to be 6th grade as well when we were separate schools. And so like their 6th grade field trip does not get any funding from Parents Club because they're technically middle school. So I would think a greater need, not that that's not a need, would be to figure out a way to get middle school students a little bit more coverage. Because high school has 2180, they do a great job there, but I feel like the middle school kind of gets a little lost sometimes.
and we can certainly reach out to make sure the teachers know to fill out the grant form for 2180. So that they're at least asking, and then if it said no, we could try some other resources.
Yeah, because I know that there has been times where they're asking, because I know they do like the reading prizes and stuff as well, or celebrations and different things like that. And they're really reaching out so that way they don't have, not all of that has to come out of their pockets. And I don't know if they do know that there is somebody, an organization that they can reach out to.
I'll talk to Judd and make sure he touches base individually with that.
Going back to what you were saying, Deb, does the school have any kind of extra purchasing power for buying those supplies? Like, are there any deals offered? You know,
Or a purchasing group.
right,
sometimes
I'm
those
thinking like,
schools are
okay,
part of
so,
it.
you're right,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a church would much rather give money, I think, one lump sum, and then if the school had an advantage, that might be,
Well, we can get tax exempt
so
stuff.
with the church, I guess.
Although it might be more community driven if you do actual boxes and you do like competitions.
Yeah.
I know that sounds weird, but
And easy, you
Right,
know,
yeah.
like, oh,
How many grandmas would love to buy a box of Kleenex?
Well, and you
Go to their
probably,
closet.
I was gonna say, go to your closet and just, yeah, exactly.
And I don't know, like, do you request a certain kind of Kleenexes? I mean, is that something you'd wanna do?
If
Is say
all the
you want-
churches in the
yeah.
area do this boardroom is gonna be full of
True.
Kleenex boxes. Where are we gonna store them?
Maybe runny noses as we
Oh
need.
my God.
Or we have, you know, each church has an item, right? So, you know, this church does Kleenexes, this church does, you know, the sanitary wipes, this church does Ziploc baggies, or, you know, whatever it may be. I think that would really help a lot. And if I have to put on a Gruffalo suit and walk, it sounds like I'm gonna be doing that on Thursday, unless you all go on my page on Facebook and vote for Team Pam, so I don't have to walk in the Gruffalo costume, or Stop the Boss for United Way, that would be fantastic. No, don't do that, she's already winning. Vote Team Pam, I'm like way down, like $300. Totally walking on Thursday. I don't
One
believe that.
FYI for you, the list of openings for concession stand just went out today.
Oh, okay.
And there's already people signing
I
up.
like how he looks at us.
You said you do.
And we like to pick our dates.
We do, that's exactly right, yeah.
So,
Yes.
Is there anything that if we would wanna do some sort of a community donation, that maybe the parents club could take the lead in that, or is that probably?
Yeah,
We'd absolutely do that.
yeah, we can make flyers and get it posted and sent it out and send, yeah, 100%.
Try something this first year and see where it goes,
And that's something I would start now. Yes.
The list did come out, so.
Yeah.
Which I love, by the way.
Yeah, so do I. I was thrilled when I saw that. It's already printed, ready to go.
There's the local ministerium that, where all the churches meet. That would probably be a good
Place to
spot
start.
to, yeah, cause then you can just tell everyone and the churches run with it too.
Absolutely.
That's great.
You're gonna be here the 22nd. Wednesday.
Let us know if you want to move forward with something like that.
thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions before we go?
No.
Okay, thank you all for your time, we appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for all you do.
Just. The other ones get really great stuff there. What are you doing here for?
All right, we'll do Todd Bertram, you're next.
Oh, you want Derek to go? or-
Oh, I'm sorry, I stepped right on his.
First meeting already.
Yeah, all right, well, nice to see you guys again, for the second time, or at least some for the second time. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. I'm trying my best to learn this new bound system and hoping to get most of it up and running here, by the end of the month for everybody, all the community to be able to get on there, start playing around with it, see schedules, or at least majority of the schedules that will be finalized. Teaching parents and kids how to register online, giving a kind of a bullet list of things to start looking out for. Ticket purchasing is going to be all by your phone, no cash. I mean, we'll have some opportunities where if someone just does not have a phone for some reason and has cash and that's the only way they can get it, that'd be one of those. We do have a plan, have a card to help out with some of these costs, but hopefully pull off the Band-Aid for some of these folks that maybe just aren't really settled on doing it all online. Hopefully we'll have a good way to push it out towards them, give them a little bit of a heads up before everything will start to happen. Activity fees coming up here, putting them out there, trying to pay online, which we're going to a different system as far as what they would normally do for their pay, but we're still going to use some of that payment system, right? That pay track.
RevTrak.
RevTrak.
Not
So-
for activities.
Not for activities, but
Yeah.
we'll still have that a little bit. Hopefully, maybe down the future, we'll just use Bound for all purposes, but do that. And then I know that we talked about, or you guys have been talked to about having student athletes not have to pay to get in. So if they're out for an activity, then they get in free. So we're trying to work on the system. We possibly have stickers for them, possibly have it through online where they kind of purchase it, but it's $0 for them, but they have to show proof that they are part of an activity. So we have that kind of coming down the line too. So hopefully have all that kind of situated and bound by the end of the month. And then Huddle is another thing that I want to kind of put out there is we're up a stance in Huddle. We're going to have online streaming for baseball and softball this coming season. We didn't have that before, so we have to put up cameras for that. And then football also got another camera that helps out with their own kind of their own scouting stuff too. So since we went up a little bit, it costs a little more to kind of compensate for a little bit of that. We are going to go towards paying to online stream. So it's like $8 to get in for a normal day. We'll try to do $20 for the whole season. So they still get a deal, but they're going to have to pay a little bit just to compensate a little bit for the new deal that we have with Huddle. That's for fall and winter, but not for spring. Spring they'll get it for free still because they don't have to pay to get into see baseball or softball. So that's something I want to give a heads up to all the community and stuff that they'll have to pay a little bit to do still live streaming. That's just the way it's going to go. You're going to see that with across everywhere. It's going to pay for streaming. And then hopefully by the end of this year, the live or the sponsorships for the board, that will be done as far as payment for that. And then that sponsorship money, we can have more of a sponsorship plan to pay for Huddle, where we don't maybe have to really rely on live streaming purchases. But for this year, to compensate a little bit for that, I'm still going to go after some sponsorships to help alleviate some of that cost for the Huddle. But then after this 5-year plan with the video board, hopefully we can get that the sponsorship money to pay for that. Any questions on all that bound and Huddle?
And that would be, the Huddle would be for McCray events.
Yes.
So if you went to a different school that we were at and they had a fee, you
Yeah,
have to wait if you wanted to.
Yeah, and hopefully down the line with Huddle, since all of Canyon Conference is in it, maybe there would be somewhere down the line where they could just do a flat fee for the whole season.
Sure.
I don't know if that's down the line or in their packages, but at least for us, there's six or 5 home volleyball games and 4 football games, and if you just pay $20, you'll get to watch all the fall. So it's still a fairly decent deal, but at least if a lot of people, if there's 100 people watching it, that will help out some of that cost for this new thing. So, but again, we'll see how it goes. We'll see if people are turned away from watching it. I don't think so, just for a couple $20, but we'll see.
How does that work in conjunction, like some of the districts use Christensen Broadcasting? Is that something that might be available to us too, or is that more costly, or?
Christian Broadcasting is one of those that's getting a little more popular. I don't know what the cost is for that, but that's something that I would like to, look into as far as having a commentator for each game. Football has it here for McCray right now, but nothing for basketball. It's just that live streaming to have someone commentate, but it's kind of one of those adages. Once you get someone in there, it's tough to get away from it. At RCW, we had a really Dean did a couple here at McCray too. Once you get someone in there that does a good job, and then you lose that commentating, people tend to we need that. So that's another cost. I think Christensen Broadcasting has contracts with those. I don't know what the cost is. I can definitely look into Christian, but that's somewhere down the line. I mean, we're high school in 20 years will look like what Big Ten does here pretty soon. That's what we're heading towards is that kind of stuff.
Christensen Broadcasting is based on like Pipestone or that direction, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
RTR has them, MCC has them, KMB. Yeah. So, I mean, they're just basically pointing out all their live streaming to them, so they just pay a flat fee and call it good. So.
Do you know, did the rest of the conference switch over to Bound then to
So 85% of the schools in Minnesota went to Bound.
85%. So that'll make it nice for away games and buying tickets. It's all, the school.
If they do the online ticketing, if they do it, some schools aren't doing the full thing. So I would say the majority of them in Camden Conference are doing it, but majority of them were already kind of at the
Yeah.
full thing already. So
Okay, so that'd just be easier for traveling too,
yes,
be consistent.
yes.
Are you running into any issues with the student pass thing? I know you kind of had mentioned.
Yeah, we just kind of, me and Kayla were working on that today, trying to figure out how do we verify where they're at. You know, fall sports, it's easy because they'll be participating this fall. If they're only participating winter or only participating spring, we'll have to use last year's data and kind of give them that, you know, yeah, we plan on going out for it again, so we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Use that kind of data from last year's and then give them that pass. But we'll have to teach them how to go online and purchase it. You know, so they're gonna have to purchase that pass, but it's free. That's how I feel like doing it instead of using stickers. We still might have to use stickers, but I figured if we have stickers, kids might lose it. You know, and then they were going, "Why? I am part of, you know, student athletes." So, and it's gonna be a trial error. Let's to see how it goes.
I wonder, and maybe you've done this, but if you reached out to is it Bound?
Yeah.
Bound and see if there's anybody else that did something like this, and
Yeah.
then just ask like, okay, logistically, how do you do this?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a way that they have something in their system that can make it real
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah, we have. I've tried to get it with we have a region kind of coordinator. He's got to do a little better job for us right now, but I have to get with him, and we have a lot of questions kind of going through here for this. So yeah.
With all of the conference on one ticketing system, is it like a universal price, or does McRae still set our own?
We'll set our own, and that's one thing. You know, Bound costs for every transaction. It's going to cost whether we eat it or we split it, and I got to figure out how we split that processing fee, or it's all on the consumer. So some schools are, I think Wyoming's gonna need all the prices, all the processing fees, and they might up their ticketing to kind of compensate for it. So that's kind of one of those things we kind of deliberate on of $8 for an adult, $6 for kids. I think it's right now. We go up $1 to help out with that processing fee. 'Cause I think it's like 70 cents or something like that for a processing fee. So those are some questions that we're kind of going on to kind of help out with that processing fee. But if we do, I think there's a discount if we do everything through Bound, even lunch and all that kind of stuff. There might be a discount. I still have to verify with Bound if there's a discount coming our way.
Your advertising board that's in the agenda that you talked about, where do those dollars go now?
Right now, it's to purchase the board. So
Okay.
it's basically I forget how many sponsorships there are, certain levels, and that's going towards the actual
Just paying
board.
that
They're
off.
paying that off.
Okay.
So they come with a 5-year plan. After this year, then we can kind of renegotiate as far as what kind of steps we have, and then we can really have a more of a robust sponsorship platform, and that money can be divvied out a little better instead of just for one item. So.
Anybody else have any questions for Derek? All right, thank you, Derek.
Yeah.
Great talking on you.
All right, thanks. Well, even though the school year is done, we still have kids that are coming in and out of our building. We just finished up with our kind of kindergarten readiness. We had 10 students that came in that are going into kindergarten that just needed a little bit of some extra help and support. So Christine Klostermore and Allie Fricky met with those kids for 12 days in June. And then today was the first day of an extended school year. So we had 6 kids that qualified for that. So we'll do 8 days and then a week off and then 4 more days just to try to reduce some of the summer dip that happens. So it just kind of keeps those kids a little bit more on track before we start up the school year. And Nancy Tolman is doing that for us.
What do you mean by qualify? What does that mean?
Those would be these special ed students.
Okay,
So they collect data throughout the year, and if we see a dip in scores like over a Christmas break, then that would be one way that they could qualify for that. So
okay,
so if we know that students are going to, think all students dip a little bit in the summer, but if we know they're gonna dip a little bit more than what we would expect, then they can qualify for that, so we'll bring them in for those. And then when we did our tour this spring, Mr. Holmes showed us some of the new tinting on the windows that are, it's actually on now. I think you have it in your slides, right? Your pictures, we're gonna see that. And we had talked about trying to make that, that entryway into the K-5 wing a little bit more controlled. So when the doors open at 7:30, they don't close until 8, and it's just anyone can come in and wander through the halls or the cafeteria or the gym or the middle school or the high school cafeteria. So with that new screen, it gives us a little bit more access to limit that, at least what they can do. And then we're going to direct students to come into the office. That would be a more kind of traditional way. So we're going to encourage parents to use that parent drop off. And then we'll have our parents there to meet those kids that might need a little bit of extra help. And then parents that need to bring their kids to a class, then will come in through the office and we can buzz them in, so we can keep that door. It'll still be open, but we'll have more control over who's coming in and where they're going. So that'll be one of the features that we'll add to that. And that was a request that came out of our leadership team this winter, and then eventually the staff. This would be a good way just to kind of limit the amount of parents that we have in the hallways before the school day starts. So that's the direction we're heading there.
All right, any questions for Todd?
Do you have class numbers for the grade that we were kind of keeping our eye on to see if?
Yep, so the third grade hasn't changed yet, so we'll see what happens. We usually don't get those changes until, of course, open house, so that's when you might see a few kids come in, come out, but if anything does change, I'll definitely keep you posted on that. So right now, that class is at 41. So.
Okay, if there's nothing else, thanks, Todd.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, you're up.
Yep, so Todd mentioned elementary school, summer schools is starting, secondary just finished. So the students were up here, we had 3 or 4 teachers working with them, they were able to get caught up. They did go very well, and they buzzed themselves in, smiling every day they were here, at least when they saw me. Todd also mentioned you can see the 3 locations of the security film. So if you look in the middle, you can see up top, you can see the lights through, but every other place you're seeing the reflection. So the far right, you see that box, you can see it in the door. So you can't really see it unless you go up and, actually make an appearance. And then on the front one, that radiator and that box is actually on the inside of the door. So you can't see what's going out, you're seeing the vestibule. So it's just one step of trying to make our building a little bit more secure without making a big impression. Like we're not Fort Knox, but we're going to do everything we can. They're not tamper resistant. That was a lot more fee, but we haven't had those issues or nobody kicking. So we're going to start with this and see how it works. And then in the middle, it actually goes to those doors. Everything else is on the inside, but the front of the building actually is on the outside. But at night, when it gets dark, it will really accentuate. You'll be able to see better looking down if the lights are on outside, inside. But it's a good trade-off because during the day when the kids are there, you're not going to see very good. So we also, we talked last year about our partnership with Clare City and the pickleball courts. They came last week. And I know we talked about, you can see to the right on the basketball, the 3-point arc, there's a gap. And on the tennis court, there's a gap in the pickleball lines. And the contractor did a really nice job. I mean, it's not a small gap, you can notice, so hopefully it won't take away. The nets they put in, the city put in are state-of-the-art, top of the line, they're on wheels. So we can wheel them against the wall, so really happy with the foundation, the partnership, and we'll see in the next, if it gets used.
Saves so much money.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
And, we're only using the tennis courts for one season now, so it's good to do.
Were you playing pickleball? last week or so.
Somebody this weekend.
Yeah.
I was playing after the 5K, and then literally an hour after we were done, then I came. We were playing on the tennis.
So, yeah, and they're out there, and so hopefully it's a good partnership and the community gets them here and more people on campus. So, as you know, with the hiring process now, with our major events, we want student input. This was the boys, and after they met with each candidate, they actually sat down with Kim because they had specific questions just like before, and shared their input, and it was valuable, and Derek did it. And then Derek, actually, I don't have a picture of it, I'll went in as well. And then the boys actually came back 20, 30 minutes later, and that's what it felt like to me. Maybe it could have been 5 or 10, and had more comments. So they were really invested, and this is current, gonna be 10th, gonna be 11th and 12th grade. So we had a big mix. So a lot of people, it's just not the senior captains. It was a bigger group. And since there was only one external person, Derek and I talked, we didn't include families. But if this would have been big, we would have, and for activities only, we're gonna start asking parents to sit in as long as we keep with the computer system. Because then all the answers, the numbers drive, like we talked about that. The numbers share what the input is, and there's no give and take. Because they might not fully understand all the rules associated with doing interviews. So, but this went very well. Students seem to like it. It's the second time now. So good input from them. Then we had our wrap up of T-ball. It's not softball, it's not baseball. They let me know that this is their T-ball. So they were fun. We had in Raymond at the golf course, we had a golf camp. This is just one group of students. They had multiple, but very nice. The course, as Bryce said, is in fantastic shape, and the students got out there. And then baseball and softball finished their season. This is our 5th graders. This year they got a lot of say, where they made a conscious effort to come down. So we went out to their game and watched them. But this is the varsity field, so you can see in the bottom right that our pitching mound and the batting is different colored, and that's very rare throughout the whole state. So it's upgraded. I think it's a mix, but it's a lot of clay, and we got a couple people putting a lot of time on that field, and our student athletes are really benefiting. As long as the baseball, I don't have any pictures of them. They didn't end up coming through. So, but they both finished their seasons, all the grades, and there was a special camp for younger softball players, so they're really working on building their numbers. I don't know who coached that, but I heard they moved a game over to the JV field so that those little campers got to feel what it was like to be on the varsity field. So that was great. And this room had a tremendous amount of support in the 5K. So thank you. I know you guys put your bodies on the line and really did outstanding. We're not going to say who did the best because he's been letting us know all day. You got 4th place. Greg?
We should probably do some PED testing. Just,
But
just in case.
it's just a fun event, and then money from this whole weekend, part of it, will go, they put towards that baseball field. So they're getting a brand new batting cage with cement bottom. And this, as you walk in, you'll see the netting. We're housing it so it doesn't disappear, but Mayor Pieper and his wife really, I said his name right, but really working hard. And we're partnering with them on that project as well, just to give our students, so we'll have the Raymond fields, and then we'll have 3 fields here, just more opportunities for students to be able to get out, and that's what we really want. Any questions? I did not run if you asked them. No.
All right, thanks, Adam. Okay, 7, where are we here? 6.2, committee reports. The only thing is, Well, we're still waiting for trusses on that, building out by the, and they're supposed to come at any time here. July, mid-July, so we're right there, so, when they show up, they will get started, it won't take too long, I don't think. Other than that, any other committee?
Derek is offering to give tours of the fencing too, so when it comes up, you can see the new fencing, which is really gonna accentuate what's going on. Because we have to walk now because we don't have the golf cart anymore.
Oh, we don't have the golf cart.
So it's a walk, so we'll get you down there.
Oh, that's right.
But the fencing has turned out very nice, so we're gonna keep going.
All right, no, so that's done, right? The fence is done then,
Most,
most of
Just
it.
gotta do
Under
the extra, the excess is gonna go around the
Bleachers, we
bleachers.
didn't do that yet.
Not yet.
No,
Oh, okay.
and that gate.
and then hopefully we'll have money left after the building and that to do the outfield.
Okay, right,
outfield.
that's the last part of that, that's
Yeah.
gonna be done, okay. All right. Let's see, 6.3, board discussion, sale of the football field. Kim, Adam, get any updates on that or not?
No, just that it's posted, and, we're looking for people to come in, and I just followed the direction of our lawyer that we need to offer it for fair market value at first. And then from there, we'll just go, but that and, the lights, they're still trying, there hasn't been much progress. But we're hopeful, and we'll just keep going there, and Kim's number, they can call her direct. Or they can call me, but Kim has all the information.
And the people that are handling the lights know that the property's been put up for sale, so hopefully they'll get a fire lit and see what they wanna do. It would be my preference that if somebody buys that property and those lights aren't sold, that the lights go with the sale.
Oh,
Because
I think
I
it
don't want
does.
to have to be tearing them down.
I was gonna say as is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Lights and the fleeting lights.
right, exactly.
When was the bidding period ending for that?
July 20th.
So we'll know by next meeting.
Yeah,
And we have the right of refusal, right, if they're like.
Yes.
Okay, so permanent school fund, that's going on the ballot this year.
Yeah.
And we did get some information from MSBA that they've been sending out to the schools, so, I suppose, we should get it in the paper a couple times, so people are aware of, get all that information in there. Can it go on the school website? That's something else, another location, I guess.
Yeah, MSBA will be sending out flyer type things that we can put on our website and
Okay.
things like that. I think they're planning to wait until back to school, end of August type,
Before you push that out.
before they really start hammering it hard. People aren't thinking so much about it yet.
Right.
So once we get back to school, the state fair, they're gonna do a bunch of stuff at the state fair, things like that to start.
And I see they did have like a frequently asked question sheet and
Yeah,
different things.
Are we gonna do much locally beyond, I know there's some things we can't do, but put it in the paper, Facebook page, it's more just kind of put it out there. The district can't like promote it, right?
no.
No,
Can we list our individual dollar amount that we would gain? It's like.
Yeah,
our-
sure.
that's what
Yeah,
you-
sure.
Yeah, we just can't tell people to vote yes.
Yeah.
Even though it's really.
It's Boston.
So here's the thought, just because some of the real regular voters are probably our elderly, who never miss voting, probably don't go to the Facebook page because they don't have kids in school. I'd like to invite the district, if you'd like to be part of the Raymond Harvest Festival, if we could have a float or some people walking with a bulletin board or, sandwich board, yeah, just to say, hey, and then some handing out some flyers so that people are aware of it, because I think that'd be a good way to get a whole lot of people.
And that's like, what's the month? September or August? Okay, so that's the same time frame. So
So just let me know, because I'm on the parade committee. We're always looking
Well,
for this.
and some of those, some of the data that MSBA has sent out, I think would be perfect.
Short, sweet, and
We can ask questions and blah, 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 so pretty much already done, just.
Yeah.
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 Well, and the biggest thing people need to understand is it does not come from tax money.
Right, you're not,
And,
Right.
and it's a way to get additional money for the school. So it's not gonna increase any taxes and it's more money for the school.
But the perception's going to be,
Right.
it's coming out of my pocket.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
we need to.
They're
Yeah,
just
no,
changing
I
the-
agree,
They're
yeah.
changing the percentage that they're using out of this.
Yeah.
if it wouldn't pass, probably because people just don't. So they, you know, like, I feel like,
It's not checking it.
There-
is it? I thought I
yes,
read
Yes,
that.
Yep.
if you leave it blank, it's a no vote.
can it
So-
come up again next year? You know, after people see it on the ballot, or, you know, I don't.
The legislature would
legislature
have to do it again.
Sure.
Yeah. I think it's important though that people know if you just leave that blank, it's a no.
Yeah,
It's not, because they take the total of all the votes cast, not just the people that voted on that issue, so. Makes a difference.
Would there be a reason why someone would vote no, like just talking back? Not understanding, just there's no real reason.
Probably lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking of the taxes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so more the uneducated aspect, which just shows the importance of
Yeah,
education.
Could this be something that the parents club, just throwing out there, parents club could do, and they could say, vote yes.
yeah.
As long as they're
It's
not
not
really
the school.
closely associated with the district.
Sure.
yeah, because they're not,
Yeah.
they're outside
You
the
can't tell the
school.
parents club what to do though.
But we can give them the information. and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can-
They can do it.
They can do it,
Yes.
As long as they use all their own paper and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
None of that. It's just-
Yeah, they can be like a vote yes committee kind of thing if they
yeah.
want to.
Even putting it on some programs for some athletic events this fall might be a place people would see it.
Kind of a did you know sort of a thing.
Yeah,
Right.
did you know this
Be
fall? we're
aware or
voting
whatever,
on this?
yes, right,
Yeah, they
That's a
want us
good
to
idea.
play before November.
Yeah.
yeah.
10th.
That's good, get it out there, more eyes. Okay, so what have we got here? Board authority renewal for operating levy. Kim, I'm gonna ask you about this.
I'm just writing down my other ideas.
Sure.
Well, we have the operating levies.
Yeah.
And they're good for 10 years, so we have one that's coming due.
Mhm.
So Ellers created this handy dandy, oops. This is just general information, you guys know taxes are spread on market value. 10 years. And what the legislature found is that once a community passes an operating levy, 10 years later, they all, like 99.9% of the time, they voted in again.
Yeah.
So the legislature said, why are we making districts have to pay for the election, pay for the attorney to write up the language again, all of that stuff, when it's probably gonna pass anyway? Let's just let the board renew it one time. So basically, the first vote covers 20 years instead of 10. So we have two, one of them we need to do now. It's $154.60 per pupil operating levy. It started out, let's see, where is that? That's on the next one. Oh, that's just showing how funding from the state hasn't kept up, which we all know. Okay, so the authority that's coming due soon, started out as $350.37. But $300 of it was converted to local operating revenue or local optional revenue. The state allowed us to just make that the state allowed it to just make it an automatic thing. So that took the 300 off, and then we have this one has inflation, so that's why the amounts are kind of goofy. So now we're up to about $154.60 per pupil for taxes payable into 27. So you can just do the resolution to renew it for another 10 years. Or we can go out to vote. It would be best to do it this fall if we decide to do that. But it has a cost. You know, we have to pay the attorney to write up all this stuff. We have to pay the county to run the election since it's a general election. And for $154, I'm not sure that cost is worth it. But
So might we be able, because it says must allow for public comment.
Yep.
And there really wasn't anything that really blasted it out to the public that we were considering this. Can we do something like that and then vote on it next month?
yes,
Get something in the paper and then at least we made the good faith effort of
Yeah.
getting it out
reporting
there.
on it.
What's the deadline for getting it, that, for us approving it?
to
June 15th? Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, you can renew it from now until June 15th.
Okay.
But if we want to vote, we have to let the county know by the day after our board meeting next month.
Oh, okay.
But if you're thinking you just want to renew it, then we don't have to worry about doing a vote, and then we're good to go. And then we get to decide again in about 2 years for the bigger
It's a
one.
big one, okay. But I was, if we would do something, have something at the next meeting for public comment to come ask questions about this, could they put something together about what the impact could be
It just keeps everything as is.
as is?
Yep,
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
no new impact, just
Okay.
everything as is.
That would be good to blast.
Yeah, it would just continue our current level.
And I guess just a question with that, so I understand, so if there's an inflationary factor, like, you know, for taxes payable in 2027, it's $154. But fast forward 5 years, with inflation, that number could go.
It could go up,
It could go
yeah.
So just so, again. so-
But it was, that's what was voted on originally, so
Yeah.
people
Mhm.
Well, it
knew
makes
it
sense to
had
use that kind
inflation,
of-
yeah.
Yeah.
payment system.
Our other one is not inflationary.
So really, everything would stay the same, but still potentially, like, the average taxpayer, it may go up a little bit based on just on inflation.
Yeah,
But it's already done that for this last.
for the
10
past
section.
10 years, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just wanna make sure, I'd say,
Yeah.
oh, your taxes aren't gonna change if anybody asks, but then they go up $4 or something.
Yeah,
Like, it won't be a lot.
yeah.
it would be
Yeah,
pennies
12%, yeah.
because of, yeah.
So that is you just take that 154 times our student body,
Yeah.
800-ish. That's 120, just about 125,000.
Yeah.
And there's no differential for age groups, it's all the same?
Right.
Straight across, okay.
No, it's APUs, is it?
Oh, they weight some of the
Yeah,
age
some of the
students.
Yeah, the 7th through 12th graders count as like 1.2 of a student.
Yeah,
I don't remember. Oh, this is just Ellers showing us of all of the referendums that have been, nobody's gone out for just a straight renewal vote. If they go for a vote, it's been a revoke it and replace it with something else or to add to it.
make it.
But nobody's just done a vote just to keep it the same. Out of all these years since that's been available. So they just wanted you to know that. Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to say, I can't remember off the top of my head if it's. Oh, it doesn't say per pupil. So not APUs, just per pupil, it looks like. I can double check, but it's not. Yeah.
It's not gonna, we don't have thousands of students, it's not.
Right.
Okay, well, I think getting it out in the paper, it's a good idea, let people know. And we can then vote on it next meeting then.
Do the referendum next meeting. Okay.
But anybody other thoughts on that?
I think that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. Well, too, also, isn't like July 28th deadline for filing? You gotta file for
Yes.
school board, school board. That's coming up pretty quick.
Tomorrow.
Starts tomorrow.
We'll start tomorrow.
And there's a $2 filing fee. Don't forget.
Oh, boy.
Check the seats of your car. Then I wanted to say too, we probably should do Adam's evaluation here too. It's been a year. So, thinking we probably would just do it after a board meeting as part of a board meeting, because I think we have to close it. And then open it back up, and we have to do that during a meeting. So, if next month works for everybody, if everyone's gonna be here, yeah, sure, you know. Okay. Unless you wanna push it back a month. What works for you, Adam? If it all works?
It all works, I mean, the sooner the better. So.
What does that look like specifically?
Well, I went back and I checked the stuff, email stuff we got from MSBA when Amy was helping us out. And she did send, you look back to the October of last year, she's got a little document on there about evaluation. So if you can find that email again, it was October 21st or something like that. And I did find it online and I printed it out, so if somebody needs it, I can send you that, I can copy you that on that email again. So you can have it, but there was just a couple of sheets on there of just basic questions. And basically what it was the 3 questions that we used, that we figured that was the top questions we were gonna use for, you know, should I say the goals exactly, that we were, you know, wanting you to work toward this year. So she had those on there, and a little form that was with it, so. If anybody needs it later, let me know. I'll just find that email and forward it to you guys again.
I don't see it on mine.
I believe it was October, yeah, you might have deleted it. It was October 20th, 21st, something like that.
You won't just send it again.
Yeah, I can send it to you guys. Thank you. And I checked with her. She said she could try to track it down too, but then I didn't find it. Okay, so I'll get that to you guys, and then we'll just, so we just schedule it right at the end of the meeting, huh?
Do you want it in August or September?
I'll be gone.
In August?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
yeah, yeah,
All right.
okay. Let's see. 6.4 is a public comment on board renewal. Well, we'll be getting that
We'll move
next
that
time.
to
Yes, we'll be
August.
getting
Yep.
that next time. So 7.0 is business items. We've got that resolution to approve the plan for long-term facilities maintenance.
And there's not a lot to that plan, if you,
Well, I looked through all the,
because a lot of it is already earmarked for the part that we use for the turf. So everything that's left
Okay.
is like the health and safety program we're in, the maintenance.
well, the roofing is all on a schedule.
Yeah, and
Okay.
everything's new. We
Right.
have to do roofs now.
Right.
I mean, even the old part of the building,
Has been
we've
caught
been,
up.
yeah,
Right,
we've
okay,
been doing it.
okay. No, I don't have that.
It's here.
It's a big spread.
Yeah.
No, I have the resolution itself.
It doesn't have, if you can just. You want this?
Yeah, let me just look at that. So does anybody have any questions on this? I guess I need to make a motion to accept that.
Yeah,
first.
sorry. I interrupted.
Yeah, sorry. I need a motion to approve this resolution for the LTFM 10-year plan.
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
I'll second.
second. Yes, extract of school board meeting minutes, Independent School District 2180. Resolution adopting Independent School District number 2180 fiscal year 28 long-term facilities and maintenance 10-year plan. Be it resolved that the School Board of Independent School District 2180, State of Minnesota, approves the attached fiscal year 28 long-term facilities maintenance 10-year plan. The motion for the adoption of the foregoing resolution was duly introduced by Mark and seconded by John. So upon vote, which we'll take right now, we're going to do a individual vote. So Ben,
Yes.
Deb,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Carmel,
Yeah.
and I am a yes as well, so that passed and adopted. Great. Let's see next. Oh, resolution to accept the donation of $100 from Coburn's for staff development, food and beverages. Would you like to make a motion on that?
I'll make that a motion.
Deb, a second.
Second.
Ben,
Is that a roll call?
Yeah.
is that those
resolution.
roll calls? Oh, okay. That's pretty self-explanatory. Thank you to
Okay.
Coburn's.
It goes with the breakfast for the first week back. It's one of the poor people do.
Okay.
So that's how you use staff. That way we don't have to use our money.
All right, well, anyway, we'll take a vote here. Those who want to accept the donation for the $100 from Coburn's, we'll go around. I'll start myself. I'll say yes. Carmel,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Deb,
Yes.
Yes.
Ben, all right, pass and adopt that too. Okay, so 7.3. Resolution, oh, expired, okay, that's already done for next time. 7.4 is the staff handbook. The staff handbook. So let's get a motion started for that. Or I'll start that one. We have a second.
I'll second.
Right, Carmel. Right, any discussion on that?
I just sent some edits to him and I know she incorporated some of them.
Yeah,
Not
just
so.
Couple typing or
Yeah,
grammar
I
things.
didn't see anything when I read through it, but I read through
Well-
it pretty quick.
The one, there are several places where it said contact your building principal, and we just made it contact your principal or administrator instead of
Okay.
designating by
Okay.
building. And that was the majority.
Okay.
There's a spacing issue in one spot, an extra
Okay.
little stuff.
Any pushback on the cell phone policy? I know that kind of went out as a blast. Anybody? Yeah, I think
I haven't heard
Thanksgiving
anything.
period.
It is.
Understanding.
Okay, so, if there's no more questions on that handbook, those in favor of approving the staff handbook, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. So then we've got upcoming meetings, of which Carmel will be missing the next one, and then we'll do the evaluation in June.
Okay.
So- Okay, I need a motion to adjourn. Carmel, second. Is that you, Deb? Yep. All right. We're adjourned, what is it, 7:03? Oh. Those in favor, who wants to go home, say aye. Aye. All right, we're adjourned.